morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always, told out of Voice of Radio. So today we need to have a look at some really cool stuff, which is going to be coming around for the Pokemon trading card game. And I want to start with something which is very limited and is going to be very hard to get hold of, but is incredibly cool. What we're talking about is a new, well, kind of like a lottery that's going on over in China, but this time around, it's Rika and Paldean Clodsire. Yeah, that's right. Clodsire. It's weird. Technically, it's Clodsire, but the card is called Paldean Clodsire, and we're talking about the TCG, so I don't know. Figure this one out yourself. But what we've got is a lottery thing that's going to be going on, whereby if you go and spend 68 Yuan or more at the Pokemon official flagship store, member store, etc., official shops, you get yourself a redemption coupon code, and this gives you the chance to win a prize. Now, there's a bunch of stuff that you can go and get here. There's a bunch of random plushies, which I don't really care about. There is a full-on hoodie. There's 1,000 of these. I do care. There is a big chunky Clodsire teddy. There's 1,000 of these. I absolutely do care. But for our purposes, there are a couple of TCG goodies, which are only available in this way, including a playmat, which, as far as I am concerned, and as always, I am happy to be corrected in the comment section if I've missed something here, I don't believe this playmat has been released elsewhere. My belief is, and I do feel fairly good about this, that this hasn't actually been released anywhere else. This is a playmat which is exclusive to this promotion. How many are being given out? 2,000. And I know it's weird. Whenever I say 2,000, there's always a lot of people that go, 2,000, that's loads. And I'm like, no. 2,000 is a minuscule amount, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely minuscule. This is going to end up being a very, very, very limited playmat. Of course, it's kind of interesting because this is the second one of these they've done, and they're both very much related to trainers, and last time around it was I&O. Now, of course, the interesting thing about that was it's I&O. Everyone loves I&O, one of the most popular Pokemon trainers around. Rika, I'm just going out on a limb here and saying, I don't think Rika's got that same level of pop that I&O has. It's also worth noting that in terms of exclusivity, same number of Rika playmats that we had for I&O. So I&O was limited to 2,000. This is also limited to 2,000. So, I don't know. We'll have to have a look at that one now, won't we? Unfortunately, I couldn't find any sales of this I&O playmat over on eBay, etc. to give you an idea of price, and for that, I apologise. But I did have a gander, I had a good old gander. If anyone can find one, do please let me know. Still going to be a very, very limited playmat, a very hard one to get hold of. But we've got a Rika one here, and it also comes with a rather lovely card as well, which I kind of dig. Honestly, I would like this promo card. It's a very cool card. Now, don't get me wrong, the card is actually kind of less exciting. Like, the playmat is a full-on, brand new, unique, exclusive playmat, which, as far as I'm aware, cannot be gotten anywhere else. This Rika, the card, it's a very cool card. But a bunch of you watching this, I'm willing to bet, already have this card. It is the Rika that came around in Paradox Rift. It's just a special illustration rare from Paradox Rift. It's a cool card. The artwork is phenomenal, but it's not exactly like this is some ridiculously hard to get, difficult, expensive card. According to TCG Player right now, it's a $6-7 card. It's a very cheap card. The Chinese version, simplified Chinese, that's mainland China as opposed to traditional Chinese, which is Hong Kong and Taiwan. Now, the simplified Chinese version of the card, that ain't going to be cheap, ladies and gentlemen. That ain't going to be cheap at all. But this regular version, the one from Paradox Rift, you can go pick it up now for like $10, probably less. Market price on TCG Player is like $6.50. So, it's a cool card, and it's nice and exclusive, and it's only obtainable via a lottery over in China, but it's not exactly something which, has to be picked up. The playmat, if you're a Clodsire fan, which I am, or a Rika fan, which I'm not so much, this is something where I do think it is worth looking into this. It's going to be an exclusive playmat, which I'm not sure is going to be that sought after initially, but it is going to be incredibly rare, so I've warned you, and now we can move on to some of the best accessories we've seen. You see, ladies and gentlemen, we've got a range of Plusle and Mine and stuff. Let's start off with the playmat. The playmat always shows off the artwork a little bit better. And I think you're seeing something here if you're a fan of a particular artist, which I am, and I am. So I went and asked people that know more about art than I do, like the lovely Primal Lugia, the lovely Antoine Boulet, etc. And they confirmed what I thought about this. This really looks like Okache artwork. I am not saying it is Okache artwork. It is not officially revealed to be Okache artwork. I suppose there's a chance it's not. But it looked like Okache to me, and I've had a chat with a bunch of people who know more than I do, and they've said the same thing, so I'm just saying. So I need to find somewhere to order this fast. But the other thing is, some of you, when I said Okache and I said Plusle and Mine, some of you are going to start thinking back to Paradox Rift. Yeah, apparently it's a Paradox Rift heavy video we're making today. I'm not entirely sure why. It's just the way it is. Roll with it. Don't ask questions. Because in Paradox Rift, we had illustration rares of Plusle and Mine, and they made a nice little pair with connecting artwork, and they were drawn by Okache. Now, I will say that, and I'm not very good at describing art, right? But to my eyes, they were a bit more stylized, a bit less realistic than what we see from the ones on the playmat. But we had Okache doing the Plusle and Mine in Paradox Rift. We've now got Okache doing them here. And I think this is just absolutely wonderful. Problem is, this is being released in China. Hey, maybe these goods will be released outside of China. Probably not. I would love to be wrong here, let's be perfectly clear. I would love to be wrong. Prove me wrong, Pokemon. Prove me wrong. But, generally speaking, that's not usually how it works. They usually don't end up over here. The playmat, for what it's worth, is 150 Chinese yuan renminbi, which comes out at $21. So, it's not expensive, not really. It's a kind of standard playmat price. And it is one of the absolute best playmats that's ever been made. No, I don't consider that hyperbole. I mean that sincerely. I think this is one of the best playmats anyone has ever drawn. Now, you're going to want some sleeves to go with that playmat. Wonderful news. We have a set of sleeves to go with that playmat. Same artwork, but obviously here they've just kind of zoomed in on Plusle and Mine, and that makes perfect sense. Sleeves are coming in at 40 Chinese yuan renminbi, which is $5.60. Pretty cheap for sleeves, honestly. It's less than you would normally pay. There is also a deck box of the same kind of artwork. Here they've got a bit more space. They've got like the sides and the back and all of that, so they can extend the artwork out a little bit. And this is coming in at 30 Chinese yuan renminbi, which is $4.20, which is kind of beautiful. There's a dice storage box, which might be my favorite, honestly. It doesn't quite show the artwork so well, but it's just... A lot of the dice boxes we get are very boring and have very simple pictures kind of etched in foil. This is not the same. That is 20 Chinese yuan renminbi, which is $2.80. And then there's a collectible card album, which holds 192 cards, which is 60 Chinese yuan renminbi, which comes in at $8.40. I want all of this. Now, I have had a couple of friends that have linked me to a couple of sites which are kind of Japanese sites which sell Chinese Pokemon stuff. It's a little bit weird. However, I'm going to have to try and chase these down. This is, and I mean this unironically and without hyperbole, probably my favourite line of Pokemon merch they've ever done. And look, it's Okache. You probably could have guessed that. You know I love Okache at this point. But seriously, oh my word, this stuff is amazing. But I've told you all about it now. So now it's over to you guys. Tell me what you think about all of this in the comment section. Get us! Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at @TheWasi. That's where we talk about Pokemon and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCGradio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, join a Discord, and all kinds of fun things. And get shout-outs on the channel, like the lovely Zarek Peris, who's been a support of ours for a while now and seems to be a very lovely person. So shout out to them for the support and the loveliness. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.